Humans had only been on the galactic stage for a short while. 50 cycles at most, and only had access to psychic realization for half of that. Yet they wanted to compete in the 501st Mind Games, where teams from every species would assemble and duke it out with the heroes and monsters from their cultures. Humans definitely could do well. While little was known about the actual physical limits of an individual human, some of their mythos was truly outstanding, as expected of a fully sapient death world species. These Lovecraftian monsters were among the most horrifying any species has created, though we doubt we would see that. These monsters were deemed uncontrollable, even by human scholars. Other entities, such as this Leroy Jenkins, would charge into impossible situations, inspiring all those around him to follow, with his voice seeming echoing through the heavens themselves. So we expected them, in their first match, and in order to impress, summon something along the lines of Hercules, the son of a god, or a dragon, a beast that burns cities and devours heroes, or some other powerful summon. We, the Ennial, were going to summon one of our mightiest heroes, Trial Rom, who had saved an entire city from a rampaging god. Since this was going to be a powerful summon, we needed the full complement of 16 summoners in order to fully realize and control Trial. Imagine our surprise when the human team turned up, consisting of one individual. He was wearing some cloth round his lower appendages and a blue cape resting down his back. What sort of summon could they accomplish with one man? What sort of cultural presence would this summon have? We were even more surprised as, rather than summoning an entity and placing it in the combat arena, the man instead jumped down before Trial, who had already been summoned and was stoking the crowds. The arena masters went to pull the human out, but he seemed to shake his head, an indication of rejection, then must have asked for a connection to the audio transmitters. All the viewers across the galaxy heard the human say something surprising, and it went as such. We humans may have a variety of heroes, legends, monsters and stories to draw upon for this match, each with a mixed number of believers and scholars who could be here today. Hercules, Jesus, Cthulhu, all manner of monsters and myths. But I stand here today to prove to all the species watching on the Hellonic right now, that humans had a reason to create such monsters, and why we had heroes that could beat them. Just who the hell do you think we are? The crowd in the arena roared, some cheering at the thought of the underdog species, and we grew fearful. Humans must have terrific strength to be able to say this with confidence. Some of my fellow summoners fidgeted and whispered about how such monsters, such as that the humans had imaged, must have been bested by a more monstrous race. The race that bested them time and time again. The human race. With that, he threw the transmitter to the side and indicated that he was ready to proceed with the match. A mere man, against the strongest hero we could summon for this event. We were furious, and as soon as the match started, we went to crush this human's pathetic existence. We were weary, however, for a mere mortal to have the strength to transcend legends would be a bad omen indeed, and we could only guess at his unimaginable strength. Trial swung his hands at the human, the spear he used to kill a god, appearing as the human merely held out his hand, as if to catch the spear, 80 kilograms in weight, wielded by a being almost twice his mass and at least 1 meter taller than the human. And catch it he did, in one hand no less. A spear that severs even divine link stopped by a mere mortal. He shoved the spear, and by extension, Trial aside, our hero's mass clattering to the ground. He strode up to our downed hero, then started stomping on his face. He attacked without honor, with the clear intention of winning, not considering pleasing the crowds, and yet the crowds cheered. As they cheered, each strike dealt more damage, as if the human was growing stronger as the audience came to believe he could win. And win he did, so totally outclassing our hero, that we could only watch in awe as he literally stomped a legend out of existence, barely noticing the senses of Trial disappearing. The human was declared a winner, and humanity was informed. They were to proceed to the next round, held in 10 rotations time. Both the human and us proceeded to the interview area. Here, we grudgingly admitted that if all humans were like that, then no one would be able to stand against them. He looked at us in confusion, before admitting, to the entire galaxy, that humans were not strong. We looked at him in disbelief, and then he explained. He explained that as much as a collective conscience of one species could summon a legend, then surely the collective consciousness of the galaxy could easily create a legend. We sat there, our mandibles hanging loosely as he continues to explain. He explained that he had belief in the people that would believe in him, and that our own doubts had been our undoing. It took several seconds to understand what he meant, and when I thought I understood, I asked him directly, "You had belief that you would be believed in. You relied on that early speech to convince the galaxy. You were stronger than anything they had seen, and thus used their beliefs to make that a reality." He nodded, and I only stared as he bid the galaxy good night, and not to expect any similar plan from him later on, as that would be poor entertainment. And with that, he left for his chambers, ignoring the clambering of his newly made fans, seeking only to catch a few before his next match. Humans were truly worthy of their weird Death World label. Who else could come up with a plan that insane and pull it off? I cannot wait to see how this one human, representing his entire race, will surprise the galaxy in the next rounds. I can only watch on as I hope we never have to face humans in a real war, where their entire species is focused on one point. The near limitless possibilities of humanity and their beliefs was going to make the ratings of this mind games the greatest ratings on any transmitted entertainment for cycles to come. Yalton, leader of the Anglo Summoner team, eliminated in the first round of the 501st Mind Games. Author's name and the link to original text in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And please join our channel.